Hello, welcome to today's video. Still in the midst of the Craig holiday retreat, the Christmas retreat. It's been really beautiful. It's been super heart opening. It's interesting, I wasn't gonna attend. I was actually gonna opt out of this one, and this would have been the first Cesare or Craig retreat that I have opted out of since they started having them on Zoom. But about halfway through the morning of the first retreat session, I felt all this energy descend into my being, and I knew it was the retreat energies, and I knew they were like inviting me, like the retreat, the energies in the container of the retreat. They were like inviting me in. They're like, come on, you're supposed to be here. And I was like, no, I'm opting out of this one, you know? But then I was doing my morning pages that morning, and I guess that would be yesterday morning. And I just felt like my soul was already on retreat. And then I was like this empty vessel, just doing morning pages, kind of being stubborn and not surrendering to divine will, you know? And then I emailed Craig. I'm like, all right, I was going to opt out of this one, but the energies have pulled me in. And he just sent me the link, and I synced right up with the group. And yeah, and I've been on retreat ever since. And it's been so beautiful. There's just been so much grace and just so much love being shared. And the meditations have been profound for me. And one of the insights I wanted to mention in today's video was an insight, or just something that happened in this morning's meditation. And it's interesting, like when you're on retreat, all the light and grace that shows up, all the loving beings that show up, there's been a lot of Christ energy. There's always a lot of Sri Aurobindo energy, because that's the lineage. There's been a lot of Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene energy. She's been really coming forward for many in the Sangha. Sometimes I even have trouble speaking. There's so much grace, and there's so much light and energy just flooding my being right now. So it can be a little bit disorienting, and like words can be hard. It's like at the beginning of a Kundalini awakening, where you're just like, the motor skills are a bit off. You know, you can't really formulate thoughts and words. And I actually like that now, those feelings, because I know that's my consciousness being upgraded by light. I know that my whole nervous system is being rewired for more peace. I know my mind space is becoming more spacious and clear when these symptoms are arising. So it's actually something I appreciate now and give thanks for. Whereas in the past, it just completely scared the shit out of me. I was like, why can't I say words? What the fuck? But yeah, it's been a beautiful retreat. Kind of lost my train of thought there a little bit, which is totally a sign of being on retreat. But the insight I wanted to get to is because all of these beings are here and all this light and grace, you're given more space to really see the beliefs and the thought patterns that you trip over, right? When you're not on retreat, you're just kind of more merged with them. You're more identified with them. So it can be hard to see, that they're not you, and you just kind of are living them out. It's like the subconscious, your life is basically like a 90% a printout of your subconscious mind, right? So when you're on retreat, it's like there's so much light, you can see your subconscious more clearly. And this morning I noticed in my subconscious lots of beliefs and patterns rooted in shame and self-hatred and unworthiness. I think that's a big one in the Western world. And it was interesting, the key point I wanted to get to, the part that was the most surprising, is how much I didn't want to let those patterns and beliefs and the energies upholding them and underneath them, how much I didn't want to let all of it go. It's like, because there was so much grace and light in this morning's meditation on retreat, I could feel that there was this aperture, there was this window and opening for me, an opportunity to really let go of a lot of karma rooted in shame and unworthiness and self-judgment and self-condemnation and all that stuff. But there was this part of me that wanted to hang on to all of it. And I was like, whoa, why do I want to cling to it? And I instantly realized is because it's known. It's the known. And if I were to let go of all of those programs and all of those beliefs, I would have to face the unknown. I wouldn't even know who I would be. And that felt unsafe to my psyche, to my little me, to my mind, to the part that was gripping. It was like, no, that's who I am. It didn't even care it was shame and unworthiness and all this heaviness and stuff that keeps sabotaging me and keeps me living a life not as fulfilled as it could be without as much joy and love and heart opening. It like didn't even consider all of that. It just considered, I know this. I know these beliefs. These are the beliefs that keep me safe. These are the beliefs that have kept me alive this far, this long. I need to hang on to these. That's what that part was basically saying. And it was just interesting to kind of observe this kind of tug of war movement where I'd just be opening and feeling myself, like seeing these beliefs for what they were, noticing they weren't really me, and just slowly letting myself feel them without going into the thinking mind. And then how I'd swing back into the thinking mind and distract and do all sorts of things to negate the process of letting go of these beliefs and these energies. And it was just so fascinating to watch that movement and then to know that must be going on like continuously in my being when I'm not on retreat too. Like there's always these parts of us, I'll just speak for me, these parts of me that are like trying to justify hanging on to beliefs rooted in unworthiness. You know, these parts that don't feel safe without those beliefs in place. And that's, I think, a big part of a lot of our awakenings is like, yeah, it's easy to say we want to let go of shame and we want to let go of limited beliefs rooted in unworthiness and lack. But to actually do it is actually quite scary. You know, it's really a very unfamiliar feeling and it can be really uncomfortable. We almost don't even want to, it's like these parts of us don't want to live life, like I said, without these beliefs, because it's like that's their security apparatus, right? It's like these parts want to be small. They want to be limited. They want to justify their unworthiness. They want to sabotage because they associate being small with being safe. And so I was just seeing that whole dynamic movement for what it was this morning. And yeah, it was really beautiful to notice, and I feel a deeper commitment to actually being with shame, to being with these feelings, rather than going into the thinking mind, rather than being reactive, rather than looping so much, rather than believing my thoughts and identifying with my belief systems. It's like there's this willingness to no longer trip over the old thought patterns and beliefs and to move into the great unknown, to move into the unknown of an identity-less existence, right? What is that like? I can feel already it's more spontaneous, it's more open, it's more flowing, it's more trusting, there's more love, there's more creativity, it's expansion. And I can feel like this retreat is helping guide me in that direction while letting go of an old path that has been just worn out. It's just been treadbare. Like I've just really done enough laps with so many of these beliefs rooted in lack, unworthiness, self-hatred, etc. It's like my system is actually ready for the unknown. It feels exciting to let go of a lot of shame, to let go of unworthiness. It feels exciting to embrace all that I really am. And I don't even know what that is yet. That's a mystery because I've been so associated with this small self, right? And so it feels empowering to be on retreats. I hope this video made sense. I'm pretty sure it did. I hope it helps. Thanks for buying my ebook. It means a lot. I've had a couple people mention some issues with buying it and downloading it, but I think for the most part it's going smoothly. I always appreciate your feedback with that stuff though. Since it is my first ebook, I did my best with it. I tried to use a really solid, I just used an app that some guy on YouTube told me to use, I'll just be honest. And it was really seamless and it felt really good and integrative. The app I used that I'm using to sell it. So I hope it's really accessible for you guys and easy to buy. And I hope it presents well on your phone. I know on my iPhone, it reads really well. But yeah, it's really special to me. Every time I get an email notification saying, you have a new ebook purchaser or something. Someone just buy your ebook. I'm like, oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you, God. Thank you, Divine Mother. And thank you to all of you for being here. Just sending you so much love and light and grace. And may all of you have a blessed day. Namaste.